Hey y'all, it's just Tara. Thank you for coming back and watching another video. But today I have a question. Have you ever been told or have you ever heard someone say to you, well, black women, they don't feel pain the same, or they have a higher pain tolerance? No? Well, I have. But you know what? The results are in. And it has been determined that's a lie. Okay, so let's be for real. In fact, that is the most dangerous lie being told in exam rooms to date. That has been so normalized. I even started saying it myself and feeling some kind of way when somebody asked me how bad my pain was and I didn't quite want to tell them. I'm like, I might. So I even normalized it myself because that's what I have been told my entire life. Now, I previously told you that I have endometriosis. So basically, I have been having heavy periods from probably the age of 13. And when I say heavy, I mean heavy. Okay, 7 to 14 days straight. Pain, heavy bleeding, just debilitating. I couldn't do anything. Like imagine, like I'm 14, 15 years old and I'm taking 800 milligram Motrin, right? Every 3.5 hours around the clock. When I say around the clock, I mean, I'm setting my alarm and I'm waking up in the middle of the night, taking medication to make sure that it stays in my system because it was wearing off during that time. And don't get me wrong, that still didn't take the pain away, but it eased it enough so I can actually go to sleep. So instead of my doctors actually recognizing, right, like how abnormal this was and maybe doing a little bit of test on my hormone levels, nah, they just try to just, treat the symptoms. Oh, it's all right. It's not that serious. Let's just put you on birth control, right? That was the answer to everything. So I got on birth control and it did help, but it did not stop. It only shortened the length of my cycle, but my pain level was still elevated. My heavy bleeding was still heavy. And imagine waking up, right? I woke up one day and my breasts were filled with milk, right? I was lactating, right? I might have been, outside, right? But I wasn't outside like that. Okay, so come on, like 14 years old and I am spewing milk. So what was their answer at that point? No. You would have thought it was to run some more tests. No. It was just to change my birth control pills. Yeah. Okay, we'll just change it to something else. It's fine, right? We just lessen the dosage. But again, not getting to the root of the problem. I didn't get to the root of what was wrong with me until I actually had surgery. And I was 24 years old before I actually got down to the true diagnosis of what I have, which is endometriosis. And as the series progresses, you will learn more and more about my endometriosis journey and all the ups and downs that has caused during my life. But we'll get into that as time goes on. There are plenty of studies that show that it's been well documented that the providers and nurses, all the staff are more likely to dismiss our pain than any other race. And not for nothing, men, yes, I'm talking to you too. We need you also to educate yourself so you can be in this with us. We need you 10 toes down, right? Because we can't do this alone. Like in the middle of pain and suffering, and you want us to try to communicate what's going on, we need you to be able to step in and advocate for us as well. And speaking of men, I do want to give a shout out to this brother. His name is Rene Joseph. He's a comedian and he's been putting out content online that's been focused on educating men about women's health. He's been going on his own journey of doing the research himself, of educating himself on Black women's health. And he has been publishing that information as he finds it out, and he's mind blown as well. He's even taught me some things. I'm like, for real? So I really encourage you to kind of check out this brother's reels and his social media content, because he has been putting out some really good stuff and some really good information. And he is very, he's giving it to you in a very educated manner, not from an in type of ignorant or downplaying standpoint. So go listen to him. He don't know me, but I am giving him a shout out because I have, consumed his content. Because at the end of the day, he just cares. He's not a doctor. He just cares. And we need more of you to care. Care about your mom, care about your sister, care about your daughters. So circling back to the point, ladies, if you feel like something's wrong, something's wrong. Okay? So I need you to put your pride aside. Sometimes we gotta pick it up, put it on the table, right? Put that over there. Okay, when we're talking to our medical professionals to get medical care, get the treatment that we need to get, and we can pick that on back up after we are done getting well. Okay, so make sure when you're communicating with your professionals, your medical professionals, make sure you're clear. Learn how to rate your pain on a 1 to 10 scale. Make sure that it's clear. Make sure you're clear in your descriptive words, as in it's sharp, right? It's consistent, it's continuous. It's stabbing. Make sure you're using those descriptive words to describe your pain, right? So when you're communicating, make sure it's clear and make sure it's direct and make sure it's continuously documented that you're continuously going through this pain. Because many of us, including myself, will say, well, it didn't work the first time. I'm not going back. Like, it didn't help. They're not helping me. Just whatever. I'll figure it out. Right? And here we are years later suffering when we didn't need to suffer. We just need to speak up and put more energy into advocating for ourselves. Okay? So please do that for me, because I definitely been doing it for myself lately. And another thing, a lot of times it's pride, but most of the time it's fear. Okay? So make sure you recognize what you're feeling, acknowledge what you're feeling, put that to the side as well, and get done what you need to get done. And take care of what needs to be taken care of, because people depend on you. So, all right, now, that's it for me today. Just Tara, navigating life, health, and finance. Till next time.